But it's also really important to me that I share with you not only the really good, exciting moments, but also like the little blips.
The real avalanche began with Snow White. In interviews, Rachel called the 1937 original extremely dated and said the prince was basically a stalker. She described the original Snow White as sweet but kind of useless, and insisted the new version wasn't about the love story at all. She joked that her co-star Andrew Burnap's scenes might get cut entirely, saying, "It's Hollywood, baby." These comments ignited a firestorm. David Hand, son of the original film's co-director, condemned the remake as insulting and said Walt Disney would be turning in his grave. Conservative critics accused her of destroying Walt Disney's legacy. The Daily Wire even announced a competing Snow White film in response, though that project mysteriously paused after Brett Cooper left the company. Then came the political posts. In August 2024, after Disney's D23 event, where the Snow White trailer hit 120 million views in 24 hours, Rachel added, "And always remember, Free Palestine," to her thank you tweet. This single-minute later edition garnered 8.8 million views, nearly 4 times more than her original post, creating massive tension with her co-star Gal Gadot, an Israeli citizen and former IDF soldier. Behind the scenes, death threats against Gadot spiked so severely that Disney had to pay for additional security for the mother of 4. Producer Mark Platt flew to New York to speak with Rachel directly about the repercussions of mixing politics with promotion. Insiders say she didn't understand the repercussions of her actions as far as what that meant for the film, for Gal, for anyone. After the 2024 presidential election, she posted inflammatory comments including, "Fuck Donald Trump," and "May Trump supporters never know peace," on Instagram. These posts essentially told half the potential audience to stay away from an already troubled film. This drew the attention of conservatives like Megyn Kelly, who called Rachel a pig on air and demanded Disney fire her, comparing the situation to Gina Carano's firing from The Mandalorian. Even Elon Musk joined the pile-on, dropping a laughing emoji on her Instagram posts, a small gesture that generated 160,000 views and became international news. With Musk becoming an integral part of Trump's administration, Rachel's comments were essentially attacking him too. Meanwhile, reports emerged of production disasters. Sources claimed Rachel had become combative and dismissive on set, demanding massive script changes halfway through filming that clashed with the original story arc. She allegedly tried rewriting scenes to better fit her image rather than the character. When given basic directorial notes like "hit your mark" and "tone down the delivery," she reportedly exploded, raising her voice and accusing the director of undermining her talent, before storming off set in full costume while cameras were rolling. One veteran lighting tech said, "She made it feel like we were lucky to work with her, not the other way around." A major studio film reportedly shut down mid-production, with insiders alleging Rachel was the primary problem. The crew's morale tanked overnight. Supporting actors refused to film scenes with her until mediators were brought in. Makeup teams rotated shifts just to avoid her trailer. When Snow White finally released in March 2025, the results were devastating. Despite a $270 million budget, reportedly ballooning to $600 million with production, marketing, and reshoots, the film has only grossed about $200 million worldwide. The film needed at least $500 million to break even. Opening weekend predictions of $63.70 million materialized as just $42 million, with second weekend sales plummeting 66%. By week 3, it had fallen to 4th place. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a mediocre 40%, Metacritic scored it at 50, and audience reactions measured by CinemaScore came in at B+. Some reviewers called it Disney's best remake in a decade, while others dismissed it as soulless, awkward, and weirdly preachy. Rachel's escape plan, theater. She's currently starring as Eva Peron in a West End revival of Evita at the London Palladium, a 2,286-seat venue. But even this prestigious gig is struggling. Reports suggest over 70% of seats remain unsold, with tickets dropping to as low as 29,050 cents and still not moving. Some nights see entire sections going unsold across June, July, and August bookings. The Met Gala 2025 became another talking point when Rachel was notably absent. While her team cited Evita rehearsals, many saw it as another strategic retreat from public scrutiny. One fan on TikTok reported a cold, distant interaction when meeting Rachel in person, fueling speculation about her attitude problem. The ripple effects are enormous. Disney has quietly shelved their Tangled remake, rumored to be even more modernized and politically charged. Fashion brands have quietly removed Rachel from campaigns. A major fashion brand that had Rachel lined up for a spring campaign scrubbed her image from the promo deck like she was never part of it. Agents are reportedly warning clients not to be seen with her, not on red carpets, not at parties, not even in paparazzi shots. Disney eventually hired a social media guru specifically to vet Rachel's posts before Snow White's release. The studio that once saw her as their next big star now treats her as a liability requiring constant management. She began working with this consultant after a back and forth with Platt, who had to make the case again following her Trump comments. Her social media underwent a complete transformation. Gone were the playful, chaotic posts, replaced by carefully curated, serious artist content. Followers got rehearsal clips, thoughtfully selected quotes about artistic integrity, and muted color palettes. Commenters quickly identified PR Rachel taking over the account. Despite everything, Rachel isn't finished. She just landed a new film role opposite Marissa Tomei in She Gets It From Me, a comedy drama directed by Julia von Heinz. Producer Jen Dahner stated, "Rachel always brings a brilliant depth and humanity to her roles, but this represents her first major casting since the Snow White debacle." Before Snow White, Rachel had been on a meteoric rise. After West Side Story, she voiced the lead in Netflix's Spellbound, starred in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and played Lucy Greybeard in The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which grossed $348 million worldwide. Industry insiders are divided. Some call her unhireable, while others believe she's simply young and learning hard lessons in the public eye. At just 24 years old, she has both time to recover and a pattern of behavior that's concerning Hollywood executives. One casting director told a trade magazine off the record, "She made activism look bratty. Now studios are spooked."
I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.